Every evening, when the sun disappears behind the horizon, the world begins to quiet. But inside, your mind may still race. Thoughts of unfinished tasks, mistakes replayed, and worries about tomorrow's unknown linger like shadows. The question is simple. How do you end your day not with tension, but with peace? Perhaps you know the feeling well. Lying in bed, you scroll endlessly on your phone, hoping distraction will bring rest, but instead your chest feels heavy. You replay the awkward moment in a meeting. You worry about bills, deadlines, relationships. The body is tired, but the mind refuses to sleep. You long for calm, but anxiety follows you into the night. 2,000 years ago, the Stoic philosophers faced the same restless nights. Marcus Aurelius, emperor of Rome, wrote his journal by candlelight after days of war and chaos. Seneca practiced evening reflections to free his mind before sleep. Epictetus taught that peace comes not from silencing the world, but from training the mind. These were their rituals, small acts that transformed ordinary nights into sacred practices of calm. This video will not give you perfection, but it will give you peace. Together, we will explore 7 Stoic evening rituals, practices of reflection, detachment, and gratitude that can help you release the burdens of the day and step into the night with calm. By the end, you will not only know how to rest, you will know how to end each day with strength, dignity, and serenity. The first Stoic evening ritual is to release the weight of the day. When the sun sets, let the troubles of the day set with it. You are not meant to carry them into the night. Just as a traveler unpacks his load after a long journey, you too must lay down the burdens of mistakes, regrets, and unfinished tasks. Peace begins when you draw a line between the day that is ending and the night that awaits. Seneca wrote, "He who dreads tomorrow loses the day." To carry today's worries into tomorrow is to live neither day fully. By practicing release, you protect the sanctity of the present. The night is not for planning or worrying. It is for resting the mind, so it may rise again strong. Marcus Aurelius, emperor of Rome, ended his days by writing in his journal. Surrounded by war and chaos, he poured his thoughts on a paper so they would not disturb his sleep. Like a farmer clearing stones from his field, he cleared his mind of clutter. Each word was a release, each line a letting go. This simple act transformed burden into clarity. Today, we may not rule empires, but we rule inboxes, deadlines, and endless notifications. The ritual is the same. Write down what troubles you. List tomorrow's tasks, acknowledge today's struggles, then set them aside. When you externalize your worries on a paper, they no longer haunt your mind. The act of writing becomes an act of peace. The day is a weight, but it need not be carried into the night. Lay it down through reflection, through writing, through conscious release. By ending the day with this ritual, you protect the night's purpose, not to relive the past or rehearse the future, but to rest, renew, and prepare to rise again in strength. The second Stoic evening ritual is gratitude. The mind is quick to count what went wrong, but slow to see what went well. Gratitude is the practice of shifting your focus. At night, pause and name 3 things you are thankful for. No matter how small, a kind word, a meal, a quiet moment. Gratitude softens the edges of the day and brings peace to the heart. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive." The Stoic does not wait for fortune to be grateful. Even in hardship, he gives thanks for life itself. Gratitude is not denial of struggle. It is recognition of what remains good. Seneca, living in exile, deprived of wealth and power, still practiced gratitude. He wrote of how a single quiet meal, a loyal friend, or the ability to read and think freely could be treasures greater than gold. Gratitude turned his exile into freedom, his loss into richness. It is not abundance that creates gratitude, but gratitude that creates abundance. In modern life, our minds are trained to notice stress, the unfinished email, the critical comment, the missed deadline. Gratitude retrains the mind to notice what nourishes. Each night, write down 3 things you are grateful for. Over time, your brain learns to look for good, even in difficulty. Gratitude becomes not a fleeting feeling, but a muscle you strengthen daily. Gratitude is a ritual of vision. It does not erase your struggles, but it shines light on what is still good, reminding you that the day carried gifts as well as burdens. To end the day in gratitude is to choose peace over bitterness, to rest with a heart that sees enough. Gratitude is the gateway to serenity. The third Stoic evening ritual is reflection without judgment. As the day ends, the mind often replays mistakes, awkward words, or missed chances. Reflection is not about blame, it is about clarity. To observe your actions calmly is to transform each day into a teacher. The Stoics practiced reflection as a way to harvest wisdom before sleep. Seneca advised, each night, call yourself to account. When the light has been removed and my wife has fallen silent, I examine my entire day and go back over what I have done and said. Reflection is not self-punishment. It is self-inquiry, a gentle yet firm search for truth. Imagine a sailor charting his course. At night, he studies the stars and corrects his path. Without reflection, the ship drifts. With reflection, it stays true. Marcus Aurelius, ruling an empire, still paused each evening to measure his actions against his values. Like the sailor, he adjusted course daily, so he did not lose himself in the storm. In our modern world, reflection is more necessary than ever. We rush from one task to another, rarely pausing to ask, did I live well today? Did I speak with kindness? Did I act with integrity? By writing down 3 lessons from each day, you turn mistakes into mentors and successes into reminders of your strength. Reflection transforms chaos into clarity. Reflection is not the act of punishing yourself. It is the art of understanding yourself. Each night, step outside the noise of judgment and simply ask, what did today teach me? What will I do better tomorrow? In this way, every day becomes a page in your book of wisdom, and every night a step toward peace. The fourth Stoic evening ritual is letting go of control. At night, we often cling to worries about tomorrow, trying to solve problems that do not yet exist. The Stoics remind us, the future is not yours to hold tonight. Your only duty is to prepare well and then surrender. Peace comes not from controlling life, but from releasing the need to control what lies beyond your reach. Epictetus wrote, make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens. This is the essence of surrender, not passivity, but trust. To let go is not weakness. It is wisdom. It is knowing where your responsibility ends and where fate begins. Marcus Aurelius, burdened by wars and plague, still wrote in his journal, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. Even as an emperor, he accepted limits. He could not control outcomes, but he could control his mind. Like a sailor setting sail, he guided the rudder, but trusted the wind. Today, control hides in our endless planning, late-night emails, or scrolling news to predict tomorrow. But the ritual of letting go is this. Write down what is in your hands and release the rest. Close the laptop. Dim the phone. Trust that life will meet you as you are prepared. The night is not for control, it is for rest. The night asks you to loosen your grip. To end the day wisely is to accept its limits. You are not the master of tomorrow. You are only the steward of your mind tonight. Let go of control, and you will find that sleep itself becomes an act of freedom. The fifth Stoic evening ritual is savoring small joys. The mind easily magnifies burdens and overlooks blessings. But peace is found in noticing the quiet gifts of life. A smile, a shared laugh, the comfort of warm tea, the softness of a blanket. These are not trivial. They are anchors of serenity. By honoring small joys, you teach the mind to rest in sufficiency rather than chase perfection. Epictetus taught, he is a wise man who does not grieve for the things he is not, but rejoices for those which he has. Gratitude is not about abundance, but awareness. The Stoics remind us, richness is not found in possessions, but in perception. Seneca, one of Rome's wealthiest men, often chose to eat the simplest meals, bread, olives, water, so he could remind himself how little was needed to live well. By savoring simplicity, he trained his soul to be free from craving. The small joys, light, air, friendship, became enough. His practice teaches us that peace is not in luxury, but in presence. In our modern lives, we rush past small joys, scrolling screens while meals grow cold, dismissing simple moments as insignificant. But peace is built on noticing. Each evening, pause to savor one small joy. Hold it in your mind before sleep. The brain learns. Life is not just stress and striving. It is also sweetness. This shift transforms not only your nights, but your days. To end the day wisely is to notice the good that is already here. Small joys are not small. They are the threads that weave peace into your life. Honor them, savor them, and let them cradle you into sleep. For when the mind rests in gratitude, the soul awakens in freedom. The sixth Stoic evening ritual is forgiveness. As night falls, grudges weigh heavier than stones. Anger, resentment, and disappointment cling to the heart, stealing your rest. The Stoics remind us, to forgive is not to excuse, it is to release. Forgiveness clears the mind for peace, the way clouds part to reveal a starry sky. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy. Forgiveness is strength, not weakness. To forgive is to refuse to let anger shape your soul. It is to choose freedom over chains." The Stoic understands. The insult ends the moment you decide not to carry it. Epictetus, born a slave and often mistreated, carried no hatred for his oppressors. He taught that resentment binds you tighter than chains. By releasing bitterness, he remained free in spirit, even when his body was bound. Forgiveness is the soul's act of breaking free from invisible prisons. In modern life, wounds come in emails, harsh words, betrayals. Left unhealed, they disturb your sleep. Forgiveness as a nightly ritual does not mean reconciliation, it means release. Write down who hurt you, breathe deeply, and whisper, "I let this go." You are not freeing them. You are freeing yourself. Forgiveness is not for the offender. It is for the one who forgives. To release is to rest. To let go is to live free. Each night, clear your heart before sleep. In forgiveness, you discover peace not as a gift from others, but as a choice of your own. The seventh Stoic evening ritual is perspective. At the end of the day, problems feel larger in the silence of night. A small mistake becomes a heavy burden. A minor worry grows into a looming threat. Perspective shrinks these shadows. By stepping back, you see that today's troubles are only fragments of a greater whole. The night is your invitation to zoom out. Epictetus taught, "Men are disturbed not by things, but by the view which they take of them." Perspective is the power to reframe. What you call a failure may be a lesson. What you call an ending may be a beginning. The world does not change overnight, but your view of it can. Marcus Aurelius, weighed down by wars and politics, often reminded himself that human life is a single thread in the vast fabric of the universe. He wrote, "The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it." By placing his struggles against the backdrop of eternity, he found calm. The emperor slept not because the world was calm, but because his mind was. In modern life, perspective is medicine. The email you regret, the awkward silence in a meeting, the stress of tomorrow's tasks. These loom large only because your lens is narrow. Step back. Ask yourself, will this matter a month from now? A year? A decade? Most burdens dissolve under the scale of perspective. Night is your chance to realign. Perspective frees the heart from the tyranny of small worries. It restores balance, reminding you that you are part of something vast, enduring, and luminous. End the day by zooming out. Let your struggles shrink into their true size, and let your spirit rest in the grandeur of the whole. Sleep not as an escape, but as a return to peace. We have walked together through 7 Stoic evening rituals, releasing the burden of the day, practicing gratitude, reflecting without judgment, letting go of control, savoring small joys, forgiving, and finding perspective. Each is simple, yet each has the power to turn the end of a day into a beginning of peace. Remember, the night is not your enemy, but your ally. It is the time when the world softens and your spirit can rest. These rituals do not demand perfection, they invite presence. You are stronger than your anxieties, deeper than your worries, and freer than your fears. Tonight, choose one ritual. Write down your burdens, list your gratitudes, reflect on your lessons, or simply let go of control. These are not lofty tasks, they are practices of freedom. Begin with one, and let it guide you into peace. The Stoics remind us, the day is done, the night is yours. Rest not in worry, but in wisdom. This is the miracle of stillness. This is the strength of peace. This is Stoic Miracles.